The average American spends over 6 hours a week cleaning. 6 hours! That's a part-time job. Scrubbing, sorting, hauling garbage bags to the curb, then collapsing on the couch afterward and looking around thinking, it doesn't even look that different. The average Japanese home stays spotless on almost none of that. Same planet, same dust, same dirty dishes. Completely different result. For years, I assumed it was cultural, like maybe they just care more or were raised with some discipline the rest of us missed out on. But that's not it. The difference isn't what Japanese people do when they clean, it's what they never do. 8 things specifically, and some of them will feel immediately familiar, not because you've heard them before, but because you're probably doing them right now. Number 7 is the one that genuinely surprised me. It involves your bed, and when I found out the reason behind it, I felt a little embarrassed, in the best possible way. I'll get to that one. Stay with me. And number 8? Number 8 has nothing to do with cleaning at all, which is exactly the point. Because here's what I want you to take away from this video. A spotless Japanese home isn't the result of cleaning more. It's the result of stopping 8 things that quietly sabotage everything you do clean. Remove those 8, and the house almost keeps itself. Let's go. Number 1. They never leave a mess for later. You know this habit. You make coffee and think, I'll wipe the counter when I finish cooking. You change clothes and think, I'll hang that up after dinner. You put down the scissors and think, I'll put them away in a minute. A minute becomes an hour becomes tomorrow. The counter stays sticky, the shirt goes on the chair, the scissors now live on the dining table permanently. In Japan, there's a phrase that circulates in households almost like common sense. Clean as you dirty. Not after, during. Not in batches at the end of the day. Continuously, in real time, as a reflex. The logic is simple. A mess is cheapest to deal with at the moment it's made. A fresh spill takes 3 seconds to wipe. A dried, stuck spill takes 3 minutes, minimum. Repeat that difference across an entire week, and you've created hours of cleaning labor out of nothing but delay. Japanese families don't wait for cleaning mode to kick in. They handle it in the moment, the same way you'd close a door you just opened. It's not a decision they make, it's a default. The shift. Next time you finish something, restore it before you move on. Not everything at once, just that one thing. The cup goes back, the spill gets wiped, the scissors return to the drawer. You won't feel like it. Do it anyway. The home you come back to tomorrow is built from the 10 seconds you either took or skipped today. Number 2. They never wear outdoor shoes past the front door. If you've ever walked into a Japanese home, or even just seen photos of one, you've noticed the Genkan. It's a small, lowered entryway just inside the front door, where shoes come off before you step up into the house. It's not a welcome mat. It's a threshold, a deliberate physical line between outside and inside. And what stays outside? Everything the street gave you. Soil, bacteria, pesticides, asphalt residue, debris. Researchers have found that the bottom of a typical shoe carries hundreds of thousands of bacteria, including E. coli and other pathogens, straight into wherever you walk. Carpet, kitchen floor, bedroom, the places you sit, the places your kids play, the surfaces your food touches. Western homes track that across every surface, all day, without thinking about it. The Genkan makes it impossible. No shoes past this point. The house stays cleaner because the dirt has nowhere to enter. You don't need a renovated Japanese entryway to adopt this. You need one rule and one place for shoes. A small bench by the door, a basket, a tray, whatever signals, this is where outside ends. Kids adapt quickly, guests too, especially once they see you mean it. One physical boundary, one consistent habit, and an entire category of floor cleaning quietly disappears from your weekly routine. Number 3. They never keep a room closed up for long. Walk through a Japanese home in the morning and someone is opening windows. It's not random. It has a name. Kanki, daily ventilation. It takes about 5 minutes and it happens rain or shine, warm or cold, winter or summer. Why? Because sealed air holds moisture, and moisture feeds mold. Mold is the hidden enemy of a clean home. You don't always see it early, but you feel it. the slightly musty smell that clings no matter how much you clean, the dark spot appearing in the bathroom ceiling corner, the general sense that something is stale. Kanki flushes that out before it settles. Fresh air replaces stale air, surfaces dry faster, the home breathes. In most Western homes, we do the opposite. Windows stay shut for climate control, doors closed for privacy or comfort. It's understandable. It's also quietly trapping humidity in the walls, the closets, the spaces you can't see. 5 minutes every morning. 2 windows on opposite sides of the house, ideally, to create a cross breeze. The difference shows up within a week. Not dramatically, just a subtle shift. The house starts to smell like nothing. And nothing, when it comes to a home, is exactly what clean smells like. Number 4. They never leave the kitchen sink wet at night. Before bed, a Japanese household wipes down the sink. Completely. The basin, the faucet handles, the surrounding counter. Dried, not just rinsed. This is part of what's called Mizumawari care. Focused daily attention to the water areas of the home. Sinks, drains, bathroom surfaces. It sounds fussy. Once you understand the reason, it doesn't. A wet sink is a habitat. Bacteria multiply fastest in warm, damp environments. The cloth you leave draped over the faucet? One of the most bacteria-dense objects in an average home. The standing water around the drain? Mold in 48 hours under the right conditions. You're not just leaving the sink wet. You're leaving the conditions in place for the problem to grow overnight, every night. Dry it, and you remove those conditions. The sink stays cleaner longer. The smell around the drain stays neutral. And you need dramatically less deep cleaning over time because you've been interrupting the cycle before it starts. There's something else happening here too. Wiping down the sink before bed is a signal to yourself and everyone in your house that the day is closed. The kitchen is done. You're not going to come down tomorrow to yesterday's evidence. Japanese households treat Mizumawari like locking the front door. It's not optional. It's the last act of the day in the kitchen, 2 minutes every night. Try it for a week. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a ritual. One of those small things that makes the next day slightly easier before it even begins. Number 5. They never rely on a big cleaning day. This one is a head-on collision with how most Western households operate. You know the cycle. Things build up across the week, and Saturday morning becomes cleaning day. You put on old clothes, you blast music, you clean for 2 or 3 hours straight, and you collapse afterward. The house is spotless for about a day and a half. Then it starts again. Japanese homes run on something called Soji, a short daily act of tidying. In Japanese schools, students spend 10 to 15 minutes every single day cleaning their own classrooms and hallways. Not because they're dirty, but because they're maintained. In homes, every family does it a little differently, but the principle is always the same. Small, consistent effort rather than periodic, large effort. Here's why it works so well. A home that gets touched every day never gets bad. The mess doesn't compound. The dust doesn't settle into layers. The cleanup required on any given day is trivial precisely because yesterday was also handled, and the day before that. The marathon Saturday cleaning session only exists because the rest of the week didn't happen. Remove the week of accumulation, and Saturday becomes an hour, then 30 minutes, then almost nothing. The shift here is more mindset than method. You're not cleaning your house, you're maintaining it. The way you'd maintain a car, a relationship, a garden. Small, regular attention rather than crisis response. 10 minutes a day is roughly 14 hours of cleaning done per year, done in small pieces at low emotional cost, spread across a daily life that barely notices it, versus the same 14 hours crammed into exhausted weekend bursts that feel like punishment. Same hours, completely different life. Number 6. They never let cleaning be one person's responsibility. This one doesn't have a tidy Japanese term. It's just a household rule, and it might be the most quietly important item on this list. In Japanese families, cleaning is shared. In Japanese schools, every student participates in daily soji. No one is exempt. No one watches while others work. In offices, employees clean their own workspaces. The underlying assumption is this: If you share a space, you share the responsibility of keeping it. The idea that one person maintains the entire household while everyone else simply lives in it doesn't carry cultural weight in Japan the same way it does elsewhere. In many Western homes, it defaults to one person, usually the same person, and that person quietly carries the weight of every surface that didn't get wiped, every dish left to soak indefinitely, every pile that migrated from room to room without disappearing. Research on this is direct. Unequal household labor distribution is one of the most consistent sources of relationship strain, not the cleaning itself, but the invisibility of it. The fact that one person notices and carries it while everyone else moves through the space unaware. You can't solve this on your own, but you can name it. The Japanese principle is simple and established early. Everyone who lives here contributes to keeping it, not as a favor to whoever does the cleaning, as the condition of sharing a home. If your household doesn't operate this way yet, it's not about placing blame. It's about having the conversation and then revisiting it until the habit sticks. A home maintained by everyone doesn't just look different, it feels different. Number 7. They never make the bed the moment they get up. I promised you this one would surprise you. In Japan, it's common to leave the bed unmade for 20 to 30 minutes after waking. The duvet gets folded back or pulled aside. Pillows are moved. The mattress and sheets are left exposed to the air. That feels deeply wrong to most people raised in a Western household. Making the bed is supposed to be the first productive habit of the morning, the cornerstone of a disciplined day. We've heard it from productivity experts, from self-help books, from military routines. Except, researchers at Kingston University studied this and found something genuinely uncomfortable. A freshly made bed traps the warmth and moisture your body releases during sleep, and that warm, humid microenvironment is exactly where dust mites thrive. The average mattress hosts somewhere between 1 and 2 million of them. They feed on dead skin cells. They reproduce in warmth and dampness. A tightly made bed, made immediately after waking, creates ideal conditions for all of that. An unmade bed, sheets folded back and exposed to air and light for even 30 minutes, disrupts those conditions significantly. The moisture evaporates. The temperature drops. The environment becomes far less hospitable. You're not being lazy, you're being strategic. The Japanese instinct to air bedding, to throw back the covers, to open the windows, to let the sleeping surface breathe before remaking it, isn't messiness. It's understanding that moisture is the quiet enemy, and the bed is the place it accumulates longest. Make the bed after your shower, after breakfast, after half an hour. It still gets made. But the surface you sleep on tonight will be drier, cleaner, and genuinely healthier than if you'd smoothed it flat 60 seconds after you stood up. Slow down here. Let this one sit. Number 8. And this is the one I meant when I said it has nothing to do with cleaning. They never own more than they can maintain. In Japan, there's a philosophy called Danshari, developed by organizing consultant Hideko Yamashita. The word is built from 3 concepts: to refuse, to dispose, to separate. It's the practice of living with only what you can actively care for and consciously declining everything beyond that threshold. This isn't minimalism for aesthetics. It's a practical reckoning with the real cost of owning things. Every object you own costs you something, not just the money you paid for it. Time, to put it away, find it when you need it, move it when you clean around it. Mental energy, the low-level awareness of its presence, the background hum of things that need organizing or deciding about. Surface area, every item on a counter or shelf is something to dust, move, clean around, account for. Most homes carry things in the 3rd or 4th tier of that cost. Items that made perfect sense when purchased, but haven't been touched since. Kitchen gadgets used twice. Clothes kept for a size that may or may not come back. Gifts held out of obligation, all of it requiring cleaning around it, even when it never gets touched. Danshari says, fewer things means less to clean, not because you're lowering your standards, because you've stopped generating the problem at its source. This is why number 8 has nothing to do with cleaning. It's a decision you make before the mess exists. A choice, made once and renewed over time, to own less than you can lose track of, so that what remains can be genuinely cared for, not just managed. One question worth sitting with after this video: how much of what's in your home still belongs to the person you actually are right now? A Japanese home isn't cleaned into simplicity, it's chosen into it. 8 things. None of them require a new product, a better vacuum, or a more disciplined version of yourself. Here's what they add up to. Clean as you go. Draw a line at the door. Let fresh air move through every room. Dry the sink before you sleep. Stop waiting for Saturday. Share the load. Air the bed before you make it. And own less than you can lose track of. A Japanese home isn't cleaned, it's kept. Cleaning is an event. Keeping is a rhythm. That's the thing about these 8 habits. They don't add hours to your week. They remove the hours you were already spending recovering from what didn't get done. They take you out of the cycle of neglect and catch-up and put you somewhere quieter, more sustainable. A place where the house runs in the background instead of taking over the weekend. It won't be perfect. Japanese homes aren't sterile. Life happens in them, mess included. But the system holds, because it's built on what you don't do, not just what you do. And a system that's mostly about stopping wrong things is one you can actually maintain. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Not tomorrow, not Monday, tonight. Pick one. Just one of these 8. The sink, the shoes, the windows. One thing. Do it once, with full attention. See how it feels. Not next week, tonight. Which of these 8 hit closest to home for you? And which one are you starting tonight? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this gave you something useful, the next video is already there waiting. I'll see you in it.